DJ, you ain't got no business tearing my door up. I told you, my house, it's my house. This is not your house. It's not your fucking house. Let me in. Why you doing this in front of me? Why would I want you standing outside? Why? Why? Because you acting like I don't want you standing outside. Because you acting like you come in and get lost up. And leave. I wasn't violating nobody. All I did was try to talk to you and tell you what's right. My house, man. I bet I won't go to jail. I bet you my grandma won't press charge. Fat fuck. Shit. That's what I'm killing your motherfucking ass. Oh, you don't be glad that shit didn't hit nobody. Fat fucker. You don't like this shit.
It looks like it Shantira got a application for search warrant, excuse me, for arrest warrant against Derek Jonathan Roseberry, and who was a student at Southwest DeKalb. Derek says that Derek got upset that my mother was talking to him about selling drugs in her house. As I attempted to leave the house to get away from his behavior, he continued to yell and threaten me. Okay. And so this was set for a hearing and that was witnessed by Phil. Are y'all related some way?
Husband and wife.
Okay, husband and wife. All right. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to ask the parties to do, go ahead, Ms. Shen, tell me what went on.
Okay, so on the morning of July the 31st, my sister, my husband, and I.
And your sister, please call people's names out.
Okay, so Philip. I got up to go take some gifts to the hospice facility that had cared for my father, whose service was that previous Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Upon leaving the facility, Shawanda asked if I would mind taking her to the mall to return some clothes. The clothes were at our parents' house. So we went to my parents' house to get the clothes. Once we got to my parents' house, my husband in the car, and I told him I was going in the house to speak to my mom because she just gotten off dialysis that morning.
And what's your mom's name?
Excuse me?
What is your mother's name? Because you keep saying like mother, she's pronouns. I need to find out. I'm trying to find out who all the players in this. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. So Brenda, my mother, she had just gotten off dialysis, so I wanted to go in and check on her. And of course, because my father had just passed away, we just buried him. So once I got into the house, Brenda stated that she had received several calls saying that Derek was selling drugs during the service, and she was upset. And I told her that I had seen him make a transaction in front of her house the day before. At that time.
What is the relationship between Derek and your mother?
That's his grandmother.
Okay. So you and Trina Roseberry are sisters?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So at that time, Brenda, his grandmother, approached him about selling drugs during the service. At that time, he became upset and started yelling and saying, we were bothering him and don't worry about him. Nobody's going to put their hands on him. At that point, I decided I was going to leave and proceeded down the steps. Derek also came down the steps. We went outside. I was walking down the sidewalk, going toward my car. At that point, he bumped into me really hard, and I kind of extended my arms to keep him, from pushing me, to kind of put some distance between us. At that point, he started hitting me, and I ducked so that he couldn't hit me in my face. Philip realized what was happening and got out of the car, and he stepped between Derek and I to keep him from hitting me anymore, and told me to go back into the house because I was closer to the house than I was to my car. At that point, Philip also entered the house after I did, and we barricaded ourselves into the house. At that point, Derek started beating on the door with chairs and burst through the glass in the door. The wood was falling off the door frame. Once the glass broke, he began spitting at us through the door, yelling obscenities, telling us his dad was on his way to beat us up, and that he was going to beat our A and all kinds of things.
And then what happened at that point? When were the police called?
The police were called during when he was beating on the door.
Right.
And we submitted video evidence of what was happening while we were inside the home.
Okay. Okay, let me hear from the witness. Is that
Yes.
Tawanda?
Yes.
Tell me what you observed, what transpired.
I was with Shantari Terrell and Philip when we arrived at the house to pick up. I was actually returning some shoes to the mall, and they were taking me.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got to the house, I went in to get the shoes. Shantari went in to speak to my mother, our mother, Brenda Terrell. And like Shantari said, my mother was upset because she said she had phone calls from multiple people saying that Derek was selling drugs at the service. And pretty much that weekend that week when people were at the house prior to my father's service. And my mother was upset about it. And my sister told her that she had witnessed it as well, a transaction as well.
Open the door so I can get in my room.
Go ahead.
And my mother went to DJ's room and asked him about it. And she was talking to him calmly. And she wasn't irate. She wasn't any of that. She was just talking to him about it. And actually, all three of us were trying to tell him that's not something you want to do. I mean, Shantari and I are his aunts. So we're trying to tell him that's not what you want to do. You don't want to be part of the system. And you can't do it at our mother's house. Our mother is 73 years old. You can't do that. So he became very upset to where, I don't know. He was upset with my mother. He stepped toward my mother as if he was going to do something to her. And that's when I stepped in front of her. Shantari went downstairs. DJ went downstairs after. I stayed upstairs with my mother. She went downstairs shortly after that, and I was still upstairs. And when I came back, when I went outside, actually, that's when Clint was getting out the car. And it was said that DJ had actually Derek, DJ, had been violent toward Shantari. He was threatening us, telling us what he'll do to us and what his father will do to us. And we went in the house and we closed the door where DJ was locked outside. Mm-hmm. He destroyed my mother's door, kicking it, hitting it with a chair. She has these iron chairs on her porch. He actually broke one of the chairs, beating on her door. And she had probably like a quarter of her door is glass. Okay. At the top. It has the arch glass in the top.
Mm-hmm.
He beat that until it was just no more glass.
Okay.
He was still threatening us, telling us what he'll do to us, and his father's on the way to get us and trying to get us to come outside. And yeah.
Okay.
He spit at Clint. He actually spit at Clint twice. And I think the second time hit him.
Okay. All right. All right. Is that Clint? Or are you talking about Philip? Okay.
And his
Philip?
father came and picked him up and took him away.
Okay. Philip, tell me what's going on.
Yeah,
Is that-
Sean.
Is your story about consistent with everything else has been testified to?
Very similar. I called them, like I said, I wasn't inside the house for what happened in the house. As they came outside, sitting in the car, I realized, Derek was confronting my wife, and again, them being nephew and aunt and nephew, I realized they might have been arguing with each other. But when he swung at her, I got out the car. I did get in between them. I told her to go in the house. I did actually stay out there with Derek for a second to try to talk. I kept asking him, "What's going on? What are you doing? What's going on? Why are you acting like this?" He walked up the driveway, and again calmly, "Hey, what's going on? Why are you hitting her? What are y'all doing? What's all of this happening?" Eventually, he continued. He was irate. He was saying that I hit him. I never raised a hand at him, but he mentioned I hit him, and I wouldn't be talking out there if his daddy was out there and his dad was coming and all this stuff. Eventually, after they went in the house, I went in with him, but he was trying to come in as well. I did close the door, didn't let him in the door because with him being irate, me being the only male there, like I said, their mother, Brenda, being 73 years old, the two of them, I felt it was best to keep them separated. When he came into the door and hit it, he kicked it and kept saying, "Let me in, let me in, let me in." He was beating it to the point the frame busted. I called the police and told them, "Hey, get over here. He's acting irate." About 45 minutes, took about 45 minutes for him to get there. This whole thing lasted. Eventually his father came, stood over looking in the window, asking what was going on. Tried to explain to him what was going on. There are several videos of his behavior, outside the door. There's a video in one of the videos. He even tells his father. He even tells his father what was going on. Well, he told his father he hit me, and his dad said, "Well, they called the police on you," and he said, "Well, I just tell him he hit me first." They ended up leaving by the time the police got there.
You need to wait until I ask you for you get an opportunity to speak, okay? All right. Anything else, Mr. McCray?
Yes, while in the house, once the window was busted, like I said, I stood there by the door. I kept my foot on the door because he was coming through the frame of the door. After several obscenities, he did spit one time toward his aunts. We were all in the general vicinity. He spit one time toward them, and then as he was leaving to go with his father, he turned around and spit directly at me.
Okay. All right. What do you don't have to say anything. You can you have the right to remain silent.
I want to explain what happened.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I think I don't remember. I don't exactly remember what day it was. When they came over 3 deep, and like came over all three of them together. And I was in my room. I had just helped my grandma. We had been getting a lot of calls from my granddad, and he had been saying because his funeral was the day before. But actually, I do remember it was a Sunday. His funeral was the day before Saturday. So he had been putting food up and a lot of other stuff. So I was tired. I went to my room. Then
And for those that are not on, that does not speak, you guys can mute yourself, please.
all I know is that when they came upstairs, they kept saying DJ's selling dope in the house. DJ's selling dope in the house. And I told them, I said, I'm not selling dope in the house. Every time I get a friend to come over, because I don't stay with them. I stay with my grandma. They don't stay there. So every time I get a friend to come over, they're thinking I'm selling dope to my friend, or me and my friend are doing some dope in the house or something like that. So when this time it wasn't even anyone over. It was probably the day before yesterday. It was one of my friends. He ride forward with me. His name is Isaiah. He had came over for a little bit. He probably stayed over about 20 minutes to 25 minutes. And then she told me, she said, I just seen you do a transaction. And I told her, I said, no, I didn't do a transaction. That's what transpired into that day. That's what had happened the day before. But when they came that Sunday, they were saying, oh, you're selling dope in the house. You're selling dope in the house. And they came to my room with my grandma. And the one, Shawanda, she's my other auntie. She's the one who came. She was more loud about it. She was like, oh, he's selling dope in the fucking house, saying stuff like that. And then at this point, I was like, I'm not selling dope. And then I try to walk away and she pulls on me. And when she pulls on me, I'm telling her at this point, I'm like, just let me go. Just let me go. So I try to walk in, like, in the bathroom in my grandma's room, because in the house is like a straight ahead, and it's like two like rooms
Shotgun. Hmm.
together. So I try to walk away. I try to walk to my grandma's room, and she pulls on me again, saying, "Oh, I know you're fucking selling dope in the house and all that." And she's saying, "You're really gonna do that at my mom's house, my mom's house?" And I'm like, "Nah." Pretty much, she's saying, and then that's when she's saying, "You gotta leave, you gotta leave." And I'm like, "This is my grandma's house too." Like it's filming me up at this point. I'm like, "This is my grandma's house too." So while she's saying that, I tell her at this point, I'm like, just talk to my dad about it, because I'm kind of getting mad. So I'm like, just talk to my dad about it. I called my dad. She was like, no, nobody care about your pussy ass dad. He's a whack ass dad anyway. He hasn't been there for you the whole time your granddad died. So as she's saying that, I'm getting more mad now, because I mean, my dad, he was here for me when my granddad died, but he wasn't. He does concrete, so he wasn't able to come every day, which I mean is understandable. So, but when she says that, it was making me more angry. So as I walked downstairs, Shanteri, that's when Shanteri, she was standing up. She was like, I'm finna show his little ass something. So I try to walk downstairs. Shanteri, she walked down behind me. And at the time, I should have grabbed my keys. I didn't grab my keys to my car. Because if I would have grabbed my keys to my car, I would have been able to hop in and go. But I didn't grab my keys. So as Shantaria, she's walking down there saying stuff to me, saying stuff. And then Hook'em, that's when she's still like saying, don't nobody, she sees me calling my dad. Now she's like, call your fucking dad. Don't nobody care about your whack ass dad. So as I'm walking outside, that's when she's following me. Then Clint, he hops out. They have a Tesla. He hops out his car, the Tesla. And then, cause he was driving, he drove them there. He hops out thinking that I'm putting my hands on his wife, which I mean, at the time, I'm not gonna be biased. I can see why he did that, because he's being protective of his wife. But when he hopped out, he hit me, and then I hit him back. And then at the time, like, I was getting more mad because there was already more stuff going on. So when I hit him back, he runs in the house, and I'm not gonna lie, I told him, I said, you won't be hitting on me like that when my dad comes, because my dad is probably about 6'6", 250, 300 pounds. He's not fat, he's kind of like muscle kind. So I'm like, you won't be doing this when my dad comes. And then I'm not gonna lie, I called him a few names. I was like fat ass, and stuff like that. And that's what happened. And then after that, after he runs in the house, I get mad because I'm like, this is my grandma's house too. Like, this is my grandma's house too. They telling me like, you gotta go. Like, my grandma isn't saying anything. Like, she walked upstairs kind of like, and then she came downstairs like she really don't know what to do. So as I get mad, I take the chair, and I threw it at the door. And then that's when my dad pulled up a little, probably like 5-10 minutes after that.
Are
And my
there?
dad, when he tried to my dad had tried to talk to Philip, and then when he tried to talk to him, Philip wouldn't come outside. He wouldn't say anything. But then my dad called Philip and was like, we're thinking like
Fucking
situation.
like a water. Man, can you even spell the stuff you say?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
A
Mhm.
whole different.
Okay. Well, I'm going to show you some videos that they have submitted in this matter.
Yeah, on the one thing, can I say one thing?
No.
Sure. Okay.
Man, how can you do that? Them little ass goddamn twist in your mouth. Can you even spell? Them little ass twist in your mouth. Them little bitty twist. Them twist so small. Them little twist.
And this is the broken window on the door.
Yes, I threw the chair. Once I threw the chair at the door, it broke.
Oh, that should have let me in. I'm hot out here. It's hot. It's no air out here. Y'all in the air.
And then at this point,
I'm trying to go to my room.
let me go to my room.
Look, y'all
And they're-
trying to get my door fixed. I'm not fixing that.
They're
I
trying
ain't
like
come with the problem. Y'all did. You
Yeah,
get hit first. And go back and look at the video, you fat fuck. I didn't hit you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this fat ass right here. Fat ass nigga. You fat ass. Cut it out, DJ. The neighbors are looking at me. I'm trying to come in the house. Stop me here on my door. And you let me in my room. And what the fuck are you? Look at me. What are you? Look at me. It's broke now. You should have let me in. I was gonna open that door and you were acting like you were acting. I didn't do nothing to them. They came at me with problems. They didn't come at you with no problems. I said I'm not doing something, don't worry about me. They keep it going. I'm not your son, I'm not your daughter. And that's especially not your fat ass, you titty slanging ass nigga. You goddamn donkey looking ass nigga. Shut the hell up. About 300 pounds and a man body.
And
Like he ain't had no
I'm
kids.
assuming that this is his grandmother just having this conversation with him. Is that a yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Let me in my room. Thinking like a water. Man, can you even spell the stuff you saying? Man, fucks. DJ, you ain't got no sense to tear my door up. I tried to get it. My house. It's my house. This is not your house. It's not your fucking house. Let me in. Why you doing this in front of me? Why would I want you standing outside? Why? Why? Because you acting like I don't want you standing outside. Because you acting like you come in and get my stuff. And leave. I wasn't bothering nobody. All I did was try to talk to you and tell you what's right. My house, man. I bet I won't go to jail. I bet you my grandma won't press charge. Fat fuck. Shit. That's what's trying to kill your motherfucking ass. You fucking glad that shit didn't hit nobody. Fat fucker. You low like piece of shit. You can call us whatever the fuck you want to call us. But you will never be on our motherfucking level. Yeah, that's right. Never be what you want to call me. You'll never be like me, look. Huh? Bitch ass. Huh? Bitch. Bitch. See who gonna need who. We don't see who gonna need who. Bitch. Fuck you talking about, bitch. Stop geeking on my dog. It's broke now. You should have let me in. You should have let me in. But guess what? I just want to get my keys so I can go. That's all I was trying to say, so I can go. Nobody want to let me in the house. The car that you got from Shantara? But guess who fixed it up? My car you got from Shantara, but you don't need nobody, right? My mama. Yeah. My mama fixed it. The same mama you who you beat up and threw up in a windshield? Yeah. Same. Okay, bro. Let me in now. I'm touching my motherfucking hand, nigga. Oh, I ain't shit, bro. I don't care. You ain't gonna let me in the house and you supposed to be my grandma. I had your back, bro. You supposed to be my grandma. Look how you done did about that. I've been standing outside. You don't understand how mad I am. I keep standing outside. It's hot out here. I'm sweating. And look at the neighbors. They can see me sweating. I'm hot. I'm hot. Sweating. It's hot out here. Just trying to go in the house. I bet you won't touch me. I bet your fat ass won't touch me. Fat 300-pound ass bitch. That's why your mom even say you the biggest one out of everybody. Fat ass said that. Said that fat ass. You fat fuck. DJ, why can you say that to your aunt?
And this is the ring camera from prior to the incident.
This just shows the outside view of him hitting the door when he first starts hitting the door.
All right, is there anything else from anybody else? Anything else you want to say?
There is a video of him actually spitting on Mr. McCrary.
Right, he's only charged with simple assault, okay? Not simple battery. That's what the warrant here is for simple assault. Okay. All right. I'm after hearing the evidence from all parties, testimony, and also watching videos of this matter. I find there's probable cause to issue the warrant in this matter. That being the warrant being simple assault. And I'm pretty sure if this matter proceeds on further, there are going to be other additional charges added to this, possibly. But right now, the warrant is of simple assault in this matter, and there's also is to be a stay away order. Mr. They come to any place that you're at, you have to leave.
I have to leave. They come where I'm at.
Any place that they're at, you cannot be near them. That's a stay away order.
Okay.
Okay. Mom, let me hear from these are very serious allegations. A very serious matter that has transpired here. And I'm not here to minimize. I'm not here to what's called up, but I want to let you know these are very serious situation that transpired. It probably could have gone a whole bunch of different ways that particular day. And other than just us coming before this situation here, I think there's some counseling. You got some anger management issues that you need to address. They're going to probably, as part of whatever they do. And I don't know if we could order that. Madam Clerk, can we order that, or they don't allow us to do that anymore?
No, Judge.
No, okay. All right. So basically, in this matter, the bond will be set for each charge will be set in amount of
Yes, I said he's on track to graduate. He's never been in any trouble in school. He is on track to graduate. He's passed all his classes.
okay. All right.
And you can, I'm not making excuses, but you can bring other people in and they'll tell you, I don't really bother anybody. I don't just
Yeah, but I'm just going by what the evidence right now. Derek, and it to me is very problematic. Okay.
Yeah,
Just be honest with you.
It was a lot that.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set your bond. It's going to be $750 per charge. That's a total of $1,500. That can be made through a bondsman.